You're missing XQC's meltdown? Bro, is that still going on? Like, are you kidding me? For real? Oh my god. Like...
Nope.
As if she'd take a deal for $10 million.
Nope.
Change the kick for $10 million contract? Okay.
No, and it's not because I got like $10 million. It's just because I'm good as I am. Why would I compromise my morals and ethics for more money when I have money? Something about that
But
is...
it would also make her look bad, to be fair, right? It would definitely make her look bad. Because, like, she went so hard against it, and then, you know, it would definitely make her look bad.
So cringe to me personally. Like, I understand, you know, if you need to make money, right? For me to do cringe shit when I have my... I can't. Like, ew. How do I... Can someone put this into words better than I can? It's almost embarrassing.
Oh, okay. So she wouldn't go to kick? Okay.
How about we talk about the Amazon and the DraftKings deal? How about that? We talk about that. Or we're talking about...
That's true. And sports betting is the most popular type of betting. He is right about this. That's a fact.
Her close friends that all took ACR deals. Or we could talk about her other close friends that took stake deals that gambled on a daily, which ended up using more of their audience than I did for Gamba, and actually had more stream hours on the sites than I did. What about those?
Regulated versus non-regulated gambling? I mean, to me, is that like a big difference to me? Like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like they're both like, it's still gambling, right? I mean, fuck.
Oh, okay. Okay. Those aren't morally and ethically bankrupt, are they? Okay, got it. Makes sense.
To me personally.
Gotcha.
Because it's like, really, the question is like, if you want to, because this is really what the question is, right? Is like, if you have a moral, if this is like a moral thing, is the regulated gambling moral too? Like, is regulated gambling moral, but unregulated gambling is immoral? I feel like these are just both different shades of gray. Like, maybe unregulated gambling is more immoral than regulated gambling, but they're both immoral, right? I mean, fuck, I think they are. Sure. Regulated just mean the right people getting the cut. I mean, regulated could also mean that it's more useful or better off for them. Pretty sound. What's this shit?
Have you responded to Austinox's gift of prophecy? Yeah, I saw.
I saw this. Yeah, this shit was actually
the
funny
arc really
as fuck.
heats up when Kick signs XQ for 100 million.
He said this in Feb. That's actually so fucking crazy. Like, that's his editor, Hassan's editor, fucking Nostradamus this shit in fucking February. Isn't that nuts?
February 3rd. Have you responded to Austinox's gift of prophecy? Yeah, I saw. The arc really heats up when Kick signs XQ for 100 million. He said this back in fucking February 3rd.
That is crazy. Holy fucking shit.
But at that point, if somebody uses the fund that they have, right, a portion of it, to make it a project that it's on its own, it's a standalone project, to be a competitor of Twitch. Why?
You can't compare one person hitting the lottery to to a company that owns a crypto gambling website.
Okay.
That's just not a fair analogy.
So since you're all about the numbers, I'm sure you know how much money the people actually made off that website, right?
I don't. How would I know that? Do you know? It's clearly over 100 million.
It's pretty public. Yeah, they have a lot of money. And you understand that the project is not a crazy amount in comparison, right? The whole thing is not, it's not a lot in comparison. It's like a fun project, right? And
he's right about this.
From my understanding, having talked, not the train, not the degenerates, actual people at the top, right?
He's right about this.
They want to make a good product. That's it. They want to make...
For them, that's great.
Okay. And when the product is standalone from Gamba and nothing is linked directly to it in whatever fucking capacity you want that you want to make, and the people that are signed, nobody does Gamba, everybody signs to just make content and be about live stream, then what the fuck is the problem?
I'm not trying to tell you, objectively or not, if Kick is a problem, okay? I'm just saying personally, the position that I hold in this industry, the things that I've stood for and against in the past, I personally would not make that change due to where the money that is funding Kick and all of the streamers that it signs exclusively comes from. I am not
Okay.
okay with that root source and the proximity to it.
That's fine.
That's it. And if someone else wants to make a different decision, or the website becomes good and people enjoy it, that's
Yeah,
great.
well, that's
I'm
it.
just speaking personally to me.
That's
and I get
fine.
that. Except then you spoke for me, saying I'm okay with those things when I'm not okay with that concept. The way you put it, that's not even why I was in it to begin with. So like you kind of just spoke for me.
What concept are you not okay with?
Oh, that I'm somehow like morally bankrupt for the decision that I made or whatever. Because after
Wait, I didn't call you morally bankrupt. I said this is where
She
my
implied
morals
it.
and ethics stood in the past, and it would be weird for me to change my stance on them just being offered multi-million-dollar contract. I specifically said for you, you made a. I mean, you did partnerships with Stake. Whatever. You've always been okay with that, right? If you think
yeah.
that that's morally void, that's you.
and
That wasn't my words.
then I was also after learning and in talks, I've understood that I genuinely believe, and I wouldn't have signed it if this was a whole true gamble operation. I don't think you understand that. I would have never signed it because
Does your contract have a stipulation?
nope,
that
zero,
says you
zero.
need to
If you
gamble
if you sign an NDA, I'll show the entire thing, right? And I'll give you the right,
That's fun.
and I'll give you the right to say whether or not there's anything of gambling in it.
That's kind of fun.
Be careful though. When there's NDA though, it means that you can't say shit about anything, which is kind of you have to be careful. Because I
Oh,
want.
I didn't know that.
Well, I'm just saying that
Yeah, of course.
I would give you the right to say that there's no gamble at the end. That's it. If there is, if that's the truth. Otherwise, not. Sounds fair enough.
I mean, sure.
Okay, let's do that then.
First NDA pog.
Okay.
Okay, regardless, do you now understand what I was saying? And how... It's not only that it was impersonal towards you, I actually separated it in a way where it's like, that does not make XQC bad because his opinion has been the same from the start.
Yeah,
Just
well-
like my opinion has been the same from the start.
I just
How
feel
about
like
you leak
I
me
just,
50K you-
I just feel like if since you don't have the vision, you don't understand it, right? Is that you know something like it's about my dignity and whatever about your thing. It's because when you say for me moral ethic, for me dignity, and then for him blah blah blah. It by implication.
No,
it's kind of like shots fired.
He's right.
that,
He's right.
I don't have those things.
She's
just kinda
clearly
how it's,
implying
by
this.
default,
I
it's how you're gonna sound.
totally
He's right.
understand how it might sound that way. But
Because it
that
is.
wasn't my intention, and the reason I mentioned you is so that it would make it clear that I am speaking to how it would look for me specifically.
And I agree with her too. That's true.
What?
Your dignity kind of goes down when your opinion changes based on how much money someone's willing to give you. But for you, right, that should not be applicable or the case because you have stood by it the whole way through. So I don't know why you or anyone else would implicate yourself. Like the shoe doesn't fit, right? It shouldn't fit.
Okay, inherently, that does make sense. I think just the way you word it kind of implies it by default. So like, it kind of does make sense. It's
No,
just
yeah,
like, it's just
honestly,
like the
I
dignity
thought
part.
that the way I worded it might implicate that too.
Yeah,
Which is
it-
why I tried to call out you as an example where it makes sense for you, but it wouldn't make sense for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense. Especially the dignity part though. I feel like
Also, I think your viewers are whispering my subs and harassing them. If
Okay, chat, don't do that. Don't do
maybe
that
that could
shit.
not happen, that would be nice. Like, let's be for real. Also, me and X, we're friendly enough that we can just hop on a call. It's gonna be okay. Okay, we can all relax a little bit.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I mean, it did sound.
And also, X, I'm sure throughout your career there has been a lot of people who maybe like say one thing to you and then say some shit on stream. Like, you know, I've been there, done that. I don't want to be one of those people. So if it ever seems that way, let's just talk it out.
Yeah, fair enough. No. I mean, that doesn't make sense. Okay, so the only problem is that it's always by implication, and something that Hassan does a lot. That's all. It does that a lot. He did that in the last couple days. It's always by implication.
I am not Hassan.
I know. Well, it does sound like that to people, and then people build this. Because
Yeah.
let me tell you. Because okay, listen. Everything I do in life is all in, right? And I know for a fact that at our points in I guess wealth or money, you understand that if there's not something that makes you feel fulfilled, no matter how much money you have, you're gonna be fucking miserable, right? And it's why it took so many months for me to consider this deal initially, because I had to believe in the project. I had to believe that it was something that could be doable. If I had a part in making it successful and making it a competitor and actually coming out on top, that was like super like how would you call that?
Fulfilling.
Like, holy fuck! Even
Gratifying.
if the stream part ends up not being too crazy, what about it? I don't think it matters that much because I want to make decisions and do cool shit. That's like, you know, it's like almost like a passion project, and the passion itself I have in the project is enough self-fulfillment, right? That money can't buy, right? And that's something that on Twitch I haven't had in a long time.
Yeah, I understand. Listen, dude, you don't have to justify your decision to me or anyone else.
Well, I'm just telling you.
I feel like you feel the need to, and I'm sure there are a lot of people attacking you over it right now.
That's true.
Like,
She's
it's
right
cool.
about this.
Oh, no, it's okay.
I'm not one of them.
No, I mean,
I was saying, you know, maybe if Hassan takes the kick deal, that might be a little weird.
Nah, he wouldn't. I already asked him when I was visiting your house, asking if he wanted to, and he said he wouldn't.
But yeah, I'm talking about me, my stance. That's it.
Oh, I mean, you're locked the fuck in. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I know you're kind of probably good for another what, like another year, probably like 8 months. I mean, it is what it is. Listen, it's just what it is. Even if you wanted to swap, you wouldn't be able to, right?
He's saying that she has
as
a
you
Twitch
said,
contract.
Contracts end. So also for
Yeah,
tell me
he's
if
saying
you
that she
agree
has a
with
Twitch
this.
contract.
For people being like, "Oh, you're just upset that X got the deal and not you," wouldn't it make more sense if I wanted a deal to not be talking the way that I am? Because as you said, you know, maybe my contract's up in like 6 months. Shouldn't I be sucking up to kick if I want a deal?
Oh, you don't have to explain it to me. You don't have to say that to me. You don't have to justify it to me. Same mentality here applies, but at the same time, it's like if you're locked in, I mean, you're locked in, right? Like, I don't know how long your agreement is.
Not forever, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I know. Because I know for a fact. I mean, listen, this isn't like a corporate secret. Like everybody knows this. It's like,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could see why. I mean, like, you watch that original clip, and it certainly seems like she's throwing shots at people going to kick, right? I mean, it's obvious that that's what it is. I think it makes sense for her to say that, like, yeah, obviously I wouldn't want to go because, like, I came out so hard against it that if I went now, it would make me look really bad. Like, for sure. Like, both of these things can be true. I think it's probably just an instance of, like, people that clip shit out of context and then turn it into something it's not. But it did seem kind of passive-aggressive in that way. Yeah, definitely. When she called X her friend, I was playing manipulation, bro. I mean, I'm sure they're friendly off stream, for sure. And she didn't say that they were friends. She said that they were friendly enough to have a conversation. Pokimane is the kind of person that chooses her words very carefully. I can respect that, because I do the same thing. But, you know, if you listen to what she actually said, she didn't say that. You're missing the drama? I don't want to watch this all day.
Like hiding my genuine perspective on a certain thing,
Here we go.
which is that like gambling is bad, right? Or unregulated, especially unregulated
I think
crypto gambling
X
is
used
bad.
the
I think they're
wrong
all bad.
term.
Yeah, I think so too.
what?
I think you used the wrong word because that
Yeah.
wouldn't be dog whistling.
All right, let me.
Coded
Maybe
language,
He was trying to say you
implication.
were trying to.
Shit, did I misspeak?
Ander?
Unlucky.
Yeah, it's just the word. I don't know
Pandering,
what word he
maybe?
was trying to. Yeah, maybe, but I don't think it's dog whistle. Dog whistle is kind
Well,
of.
I don't
like
even
when
know what
you
it would be. I don't
say
even know what I've
something
been
that only a
pandering
certain
about.
group of people will understand.
Um,
So, you want to maybe clarify what you were trying to say?
yeah, I mean,
Virtue signaling?
Yes, maybe that one.
not really.
I think
Virtue
it's-
signaling.
Oh,
High
not
roading?
That one?
Please
Maybe
clarify.
high roading?
I'll
this turning into a vocab lesson.
I'll clarify. I feel like this whole like link to Gamba thing. I think it's like we talked about it like a million times, and you guys keep like it's almost like you.
The world here belongs to the syndicates.
Oh my god! Oh my fucking god! I need to get Twitch Turbo and see something, man. Like,
Star Wars Outlaws.
This is
Watch
just-
the world premiere trailer now on YouTube.
Want to know what's absurd?
oh my god.
Taco Taco.
Yeah, I feel like I'm watching Dragon Ball Z again.
More bang for your
It's
buck.
like tune in
The
next
boneless
week.
meal-
You only got 4, bitch.
Have to use any defense because you have the burden of proof is on you, right? You have to elaborate on what kind of proof you have that's what they want. Right?
Just general business deduction.
Sure, go ahead. Continue.
Here's this is still technically speculation, obviously. So you're right to say that, but when I look at Stake and I see the top category being like predominantly owned by slots gamblers who are gambling on Stake, when I see that the website was created by the owners of Stake, when I see that like some of the largest content creators outside of like Aiden and yourself and Bruce that they've recently picked up are oftentimes like the most consistently sizable audiences are often going to be roulette like gambling players, right? So that's one reason. That's not the main reason. The main reason still obviously is that it's owned by Stake, by the owners of Stake. It was created with consultation from Trainwrecks, who was
No, it wasn't. No, then major. People need to stop.
He was a major slots player on Twitch.
Wrong.
And it was
Wait,
basically
Well, I mean, wrong with that. Wrong,
after.
wrong with that. Yeah. Train. Listen, I love Train. Okay. No disrespect to Train. Train's involvement is extremely minimal. Okay, and
Well, I think at this point,
Train
during
likes
its
Train.
creation,
Nope.
you know,
Nope.
Train was like its main spokesperson. I think that's hard to refute.
That's irrelevant. Whoever acts like a spokesperson, he wasn't
relevant at all.
he wasn't appointed as, and in terms of the whole site as a whole and how big he is, he's eclipsed in both equity, influence, size. Just because he's still on
Also,
that.
he has equity.
Just because his clips go on LSF about it doesn't mean he owns the website. I think you guys are overplaying his involvement by a long shot because it makes sense for the
I
argument.
think
but it's
Hassan was
disingenuous.
just referring to his early.
As somebody who knows more than the
which was
public,
like
I
And I was
see
talking
that.
about his
Now it's a lot
consultation. I don't
less.
even think he's
That's fine.
I
We
didn't say
don't
he's a
know.
co-owner.
Yeah,
I didn't even know he had equity until you just said it. I just said
I'm just saying.
Train's
that's-
consultation and development of the platform.
Apparently, his Twitch bio says co-owner of Kick. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means by default that's what it means.
And Trainwreck has tweeted about how he's the third largest
Then
owner of
he
Kick.
has a
I promise
moment.
we will never touch your sub revenue.
Okay. And do you know what are the size by comparison? Third could mean anything, and you know that, right?
Okay.
We're not
We're
gonna
getting
argue
lost
how
in the
involved he
semantics.
is. Yeah,
We're
it
getting
doesn't
lost in the
matter.
semantics of the conversation.
Well,
No,
no, that's extremely important.
We're getting
though.
lost in the semantics of the conversation. I didn't even know that Train was, again, like a part owner, let alone the third owner, right? I don't care about the size. Even as a consultant hiring Train, specifically especially after crypto gambling was banned on Twitch, makes it seem like the timing is relatively odd. It's a little suspicious to launch this initiative so publicly immediately after crypto gambling was eviscerated on Twitch. It seemed like they were looking for a new avenue where they could just continue live streaming and, get an ROI that way by utilizing like a live streaming platform, whether it's their own or whether it's another big website that they could be streaming easily on. so that they could keep driving traffic to Stake. This is my speculation, given the fact that it's mostly owned by Stake, and live streaming is not necessarily a profitable venture to get into. It's a loss leader for Amazon, and Amazon is a fucking major company, right? Their goal is to basically capture the entire
not sure if
market
it's a loss leader or
and
not.
then start figuring out, once they have monopolized the live streaming space, start figuring out how to fill the inventory and start making it more profitable.
Yeah,
this
sure.
is Amazon's goal.
What's wrong with
a
that?
separate goal also is to beef up their IVS structure, which is when they go to websites like Kick, or when they go to Stake, and Stake says, hey, we want a white label live streaming website, and Amazon sells them that product, which I believe Twitch gets, I don't know the back end of that, but I believe Twitch might even get a percentage of that as well. So
I don't know.
That's crazy. I hope you get clipped and you're up on Dexerto and people are shitting on you for that take.
Well, okay. First
She's
of all,
still mad about what I said.
I think that if there's one person who gets shit on fucking Dexerto all day, every day, I'm getting cooked nonstop. That's not even. I do know that you do get shit on unjustifiably on a lot of stuff, but trust me, I'm getting clapped up all the time on that.
From what I've been told by many Twitter users, you know, there's no relationship or benefit to Twitch for the fact that, you know, Kick is using Amazon services.
Well, I think it's kind of irrelevant. I think that's kind of like flexing daddy's money, but yeah, that was my argument on that one.
Oh, that's actually a good take. So that was an interesting one, at least. You said it's like flexing daddy's money. I don't really understand that, because like I probably have shit on Amazon, the parent company of Twitch, more than you have. I mean, we've had fucking conversations where I've shit on Amazon. I am the single largest human donator to the Amazon Labor Union, which Jeff Bezos is openly antagonistic towards. I'm not exactly fond of Amazon. As a matter of fact, I've mentioned that when we were talking about how like Kick is basically single-handedly kept alive by Stake, I talked about how Amazon's hands are not necessarily clean either.
I mean,
he's right.
I don't know why you thought that was
right.
like, you know, defending daddy's money.
Your wording is a little soft on the Amazon part. Okay, let's use actual adult words. Okay, yeah. Twitch is maintained by the inhumane practices and actual life squeezing, sweatshop-like conditions of employees. Okay, continue.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I mean, just if you're gonna use the harsh wording for Kick, use the same harsh wording for Twitch and Amazon. Please.
I have. You're literally repeating something I said.
Yeah, but
maybe you didn't hear me say it, but I have said that exact same thing.
Yeah, but just now you didn't. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah. I'm not saying that like Amazon is infallible. I've never said that. As a matter of fact, I want to fix Amazon's labor practices. It's probably never going to happen. Let's be fucking real. But
yeah.
I'm perfectly aware of that. Okay,
Maybe
I think that's bullshit. I think that's bullshit. For the record, I've heard you literally defend sweatshops against Moist Critical, so I don't know what your take is on that matter. But
sweatshops go hard.
Yeah, you and I have a difference in opinion on that, but overall, that doesn't change the reality with
they do go hard.
Kick's funding
they go so hard that people in there die.
And Stake being a marketing arm, in my opinion, Kick being a marketing arm, in my opinion, directly to funnel more active users onto Stake.com.
Thank you. I understand if you maybe want to compare the two, but I don't even think they're comparable.
What do you mean?
How direct streaming and supporting and, let's say, you know, working with Kick, who's entirely funded by Stake, versus streaming on Twitch, who is owned by Amazon.
I mean, you're always gonna
obviously.
I mean, it's by proximity.
There's a lot of fucked up shit there too.
At least initially, you're always gonna have a close proximity. That's like fucking. That's like if you're a family, you're always in some business like farming, and then the fucking get like the kid does something around the idea of farming. When it's in close proximity, of course, like it'll be like that initially, right? But as it expands, making conclusions about where it's going and where it's gonna be, right? By ratio, and saying, oh,
wait, how did we make conclusions about where it's going and where it's gonna be?
Wait, that's the whole basis of the conversation. The argument is that it is
No,
it is made to fund gambling, and it is made and it
Yeah,
is
the
an
basis
effort
of their
to
argument
reignite
is that
fucking casino shit so they can
it's a
remake some of the
theoretical.
money on their platform. That is
This
a
is true.
you've just said that. Like you
Wait,
guys.
so you don't think?
I
That's
think
the
I
case?
think that's a return on their investment. Yes, that's the
I
reason why they're
disagree.
investing so heavily.
I disagree in ridiculous capacity. Yeah, I disagree with that 100%.
What do you, well, you have more insider information than we do, so
Yeah.
I would love to hear your perspective on it. I might not agree with it, but
If
You
I
might
what
have
do you
some
think?
insider information, but X, don't you also think? Obviously, Kick wanted to sign you, so obviously they're probably gonna tell you whatever you want to hear.
wait,
Well, that's not really true
What?
because you got to sign a contract.
if
Yeah, he
if
got-
I
have to
had the
sign a
idea
contract
they
no
want
matter
things
what.
they want things to be about Gamba, they were talking to me about Gamba.
They
That was
can't
not my
lie to
contract.
him.
I just told you. Gambling was never even in any talks of any kind. Not even
I
even
know,
a
but
slight part
I
of it.
feel like it's a little bit disingenuous to pretend that they don't care about Gamba or that that's not a prioritization on the streaming
Well,
platform that they created because they saw how profitable gambling streams were.
That's how it felt to me in terms of I saw the roadmap and I'm building the roadmap, right? Everybody that is going to come up this month, it's gonna be massive. This month, it's gonna be I'm not trying to act like oh god, it's gonna be crazy. No,
Yeah.
this month is gonna be absolutely unhinged. And most of the guys that are signed have been not only didn't none of them gambled, they're all anti-gamba, right? And
Yeah, but
they're
don't you
because
think
they're sold the same
The
impression.
owners of
Go ahead.
Kick and Stake are probably hoping that those viewers end up also seeing the gambling categories,
Yeah.
maybe
So now-
get curious.
So now, not only are we doing speculation, you're literally talking for the owners and you're making outlandish
we
assumptions.
are
think you can assume
speculating,
that.
and I think this is
That's
a
fine.
reasonable, educated guess to make.
Yeah.
Given how
I'm not speaking
given-
for them or saying I heard this. I'm saying that's my theory, and
So-
I'm sure it's
I'm about to move on.
many people's
And,
theory.
I'm
and-
sorry,
and
guys, we covered
Will
this so
you
long.
revert when things flip on the other side, or you can do that like all the time and just ignore it and just say
No,
"Ah,
because
whatever,
ultimately,
Russ."
even if they
X, they're not even trying to profit off of their streamers. Where do you think the money's gonna come from?
Do you know something called tech? You know what tech is? Tech overall,
Technology?
just the whole sector of tech. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I don't want to be patronizing you. Why are you so worried about profitability when none of this shit is profitable? None of it is. Like,
Because that's what we're discussing. We had the initial point that Kick is probably hoping to profit. Sorry, Stake is hoping to profit off of Kick as a marketing tool primarily for their crypto gambling
okay,
website.
so you don't think that there's a chance that possibly
That's what we're
on the
talking about.
roadmap, the point is to sign and clean the product up to move away from gambling to make a strong competitor that's all that streaming, dominate the market, and then have profitable endeavors and routes to profitability and get there somehow, right? You don't think that's a possibility? You're completely hashing that out.
so that's it.
No,
You bring up a really
that
good point.
can be a possibility, but it doesn't change its origins or where it's at right now.
Oh, so you're gonna discredit
And
where it's going and
those-
what it's
wait,
about
can I
because
just
of where
finish?
the money.
No, hold on. Wait,
No,
can
I'm
I
just
just
saying
cut in here?
Two things was just why I personally wouldn't align with it.
Okay, let me just cut in here really quickly.
I can't tell
So-
the future. Sorry, go
Okay,
ahead.
Felix, you're saying, and correct me if I'm wrong. Are you saying that the reason why Stake is investing heavily into Kick is because they want to build up a competitive live streaming platform, not to market Stake or anything like that, but instead to become a primary force in the live streaming space on its own with no genuine interest in like driving traffic to stake.com. And they're doing it in a way where they are like unimaginably unprofitable.
Yep.
While simultaneously giving Amazon money,
Yep.
like giving Amazon direct money in the form of both AWS and IVS,
Yep.
which is a is a copy paste of Twitch. It's like Twitch reskin basically.
Yep.
And they're doing this because ultimately they want to take down Amazon's live streaming market share and become the main monopoly force in the live streaming space.
Yep. That's right.
Okay. So Amazon owns AWS, right? As you know. And Amazon still is having a hard time, according to Amazon at least, creating a profitable space for Twitch, despite the fact that they have already monopolized the marketplace of live streaming.
There's a lot of
reasons for that.
reasons
Do you
for
think
that.
Stake, which pays Amazon to even do live web hosting, would be able to ever reasonably become the monopoly force in the live streaming space?
I would turn that down real quick. I don't think that really makes a lot of sense because, like, obviously Amazon is going to be paying the same amount of money for the web hosting regardless of how much it charges Twitch or Kick.
There's going to be no alternative. The technology's not going to change.
Yeah,
It's
they're
always
still
gonna remain way
incurring
that it
the
is
same cost.
right now, right? That's kind of the assumption you're making, correct? That AWS is the only thing and will always remain, and it's always going to be like that. You're making the assumption by default that this is set in stone and will never change. The technology is just stopped improving on that, right?
No, I'm not making that assumption at all.
I mean, you kind of are by default. You are by default.
That you need physical servers to be able to operate a website. Live web hosting is expensive, like really expensive.
Yeah.
So expensive that the actual dominant force in the web service, the web hosting side of things, is having a hard time making their live streaming company, which already holds monopoly market share in the live streaming marketplace, profitable. The notion that Stake would become a competitive player while utilizing Amazon services and paying them literally a profitable amount to be able to to do this web hosting, which is part of the reason why, like, when you joined the website, it fell apart a little bit because, like, they didn't even have the bandwidth to do so. So they had to probably increase their bandwidth. Like, they had to go back to Amazon and ask for more.
Your expertise on server capacity and initial releases and whatnot is very limited. And when you talk about this shit, it falls on deaf ears. Okay, releases and day one stuff is always bound to drive more traffic. The same way that Blizzard, an industry leader in gaming, cannot have a stable release on day one. It's just too much. And that is to be expected.
You
in
can't
all
seriously be
fields,
comparing yourself
in all
live
fields,
streaming on a website, which you can do on every other website perfectly fine,
except Twitter,
to Blizzard releasing a game to an entire marketplace for the first. Like, Diablo launch is not comparable to you.
Diablo launch is pretty good.
Streaming on Kick. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because, yes, you're right. Activision Blizzard fucks up regularly with their services, but those services on release day are fucking, like, they have significantly more active users than you going from one website to the next. For example, here, I'll ask you a question. If you tomorrow decided to go to YouTube, let's say you got a contract at YouTube, it was a massive deal, and you moved over to YouTube and you live streamed for the first time, do you think you'd be able to effectively crash YouTube?
No.
No, right? You wouldn't be able to crash YouTube, right?
No, hold up, let me talk now. Your knowledge about this is so limited. Since you went anecdotally about this, actually, I want to use an example that actually happened only a couple months ago. The Squid Games event with all the YouTubers and streamers that we did on Twitch, what happened on that day? Twitch crashed, right? That drive, in comparison, these things happen. And that's the same thing.
It does.
That's the same for ratio for Kick.
Now we're comparing 10 to 1,000. You know what I mean? That's the difference.
Not true.
Because
not true.
The reason why I already understand that. I'm accounting for you going from one live streaming platform to
I don't even know what
another
this is about.
competent live streaming platform versus one live streaming platform that is, like, very clearly not ready for the rate limit.
Has there ever been a large streamer who went from one platform to another and their first stream crashed said platform?
Wait. There's been brawlies on Twitch done that crash website. Yes.
There's been what?
There's been live streams on Twitch that have crashed website.
No, yes, but
that's not what she said.
right, and Hassan is saying those are at a different magnitude. So perhaps instead we
So the
can get
goalpost moving
the
from
numbers
is
or
it
the
possible
event.
to how big of a drive it is? Like this argument is not we're not going this argument. We went from the size of YouTube
because
to
there
size
are
of Twitch.
websites you can go to tomorrow and not crash them.
Wait, Kick by
You can go to
market share.
Facebook, it wouldn't crash Facebook. You
Yeah.
would probably crash Twitter because they're also not
Ki-
ready for the bandwidth and
Yeah,
not ready
they
to
had
like
that happen with
do
the
massive
DeSantis thing.
video
Wait,
live.
know
Yeah,
at
Kick
this
is
point
smaller.
really proves or
Wait, bro,
doesn't prove,
Kick,
to be
Kick,
honest.
Kick,
I don't think
Kick
it's
is
good.
smaller. What about it? Like, what? I don't know what you guys.
Yes.
That's
The
all he
reason
was
why I
saying.
mentioned
they
that
can't handle it.
They
Yeah.
just
the reason why
they
I mentioned
adjusted
that
the
wasn't
bandwidth.
to the reason why I mentioned that was to tell you that like Kick itself still had to go to Amazon that day and ask for more bandwidth so that they could handle one singular Twitch streamer moving onto their website with a real audience, unlike Aiden Ross,
Daddy
by the way,
Amazon,
which
please.
never crashed the website for the record.
Oh, we're gonna get a
he
tweet
did.
about that
But,
on AR-15 real
yeah, he did.
quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna go put that account
Okay.
on notifications.
Let's
Regardless-
dial back a little
Oh,
bit.
we're gonna
Yeah.
get one of
he-
those
he
real
did.
quick.
Okay. Kick is
So, X,
smaller.
to your
God,
point-
no.
Yeah.
You
Aiden's
guys,
not
you guys
gonna like
understand
that.
something at any point. What you're saying is that the technology won't change, no progress will be made, and there isn't a point where there's a possibility.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn it down. I'm gonna just talk about it. Then we're gonna move on. Okay. Obviously, Kick is gonna make money for stake. Sure. Like everybody fucking knows that. This isn't a secret. It's not a surprise. This isn't wait, what? Really? Of course that's the way it is. That's what makes sense. But I do also think that they want to make Kick more than just a loss leader to stake. Absolutely. Of course they want to do that. That's, of course, their goal. Now, does that mean they're never going to have any, like, if Kick is profitable, I think that Stake's goal is to make Twitch with gambling. That's it. That's what they want to do. Like, that is their best case scenario. We have everything that Twitch has, but we also have gambling. So it's not like they're going to get rid of gambling. No. They're just going to have it on the platform. There's 100% guarantee that if you're not signed, you won't get, you will be recommended to 2 gambling streamers out of the 5 at our side. Well, I don't know. It depends, right? Twitch also has gambling. Oh, sorry. Get crypto gambling, like stake, basically. Like, I mean, unregulated crypto gambling. Well, I don't know if it's regulated over there. I have no idea. But like basically stake. That's what really matters. Other advertisers push stake off Twitch. They won't suddenly advertise at their site. Yeah, but you can have other types of advertisement. And also it could matter the rates that they're advertising at. For example, if they're able to make a lot of money through stake, it might be worth it to take cheaper ad rates from worse advertisers because they're already making enough money through stake to begin with. You see what I'm saying? So stake will subsidize and the conversions will subsidize the amount of people that go over to Kick. That's just, it's common sense. And Amazon will not stop providing service to Kick. They will not do that. The reason why, even if Amazon is competing directly against them, and the reason why they will not do it is because it sets such an awful precedent in the market. Like, you have to remember, Amazon Web Services is like a multi-billion-dollar thing. And they provide services to like literally probably hundreds of thousands, if not millions of companies. If the idea is out there that if you are competing directly with an Amazon subsidiary, that Amazon will just strategically shut down your service in order to make themselves stronger, everybody will leave AWS. AWS. And like, this is not even talking about legal stuff. I'm talking about like just straight up like business. Even if it's not illegal, it sets a horrible precedent, and they would never, ever, ever go down that road. I feel like Amazon would probably rather, because you think like, this is Amazon, okay? This is how big Amazon is. This is Twitch, okay? And Amazon Web Services are bigger than all of Twitch. They are fucking smaller? Yeah. They are fucking massive. Wake. Oh, what did Wake say? I didn't. Fuck. Did I miss his message? Let me see. User. Oh fuck. No, they want Twitch with gambling. Yeah, exactly. Without whatever regulations and restrictions that clearly make it enormously lucrative. Plenty of gambling. Yeah. Yeah, they do want Twitch with gambling. Yep, there you go. Absolutely. Is it the same thing Samsung and Apple are rivals, but Apple still use components in their phone that are made by Samsung? Yeah, that's the way it goes. That's common sense. So yeah, obviously that's going to be to their benefit. Like Amazon isn't going to shut them out because it would hurt them in the market. And also, like, you have to keep in mind, like, so Amazon is providing web services to Twitch and also to Kick, right? So one could assume that the cost of those web services are probably relatively similar. It's not like it costs a lot more money for them to host Kick than it does for them to host Twitch. Like, I'm talking on like a baseline price, a baseline cost. So because Twitch doesn't get free to AWS, well, AWS isn't free. It still costs money to run. Does that make sense? So you still have to make AWS run. And the cost between how much it makes, how much it costs to run, and how much Amazon is making from profit, there is absolutely a world where Amazon is actually making more money off of Kick than Twitch. Because Kick is providing them a raw service that has no secondaries, there's probably no insider deal, and the profit margin on the web service hosting from Kick is actually providing a higher return on investment than the web service that they're providing to Twitch. You see what I'm saying? Question should be if Twitch would have allowed gambling fully, would Kick exist at all? Probably not. No, there'd be no reason for Kick to exist. Would you moderate the discussion if they ask you? I don't want to invest. I don't want to involve myself. Like, anytime that I ever do, people always try to like get streamers to talk with each other and stuff. So I don't like to force content. You know, if they want to do that, that's up to them. But like, I don't want to force content. It's weird. FCC is Stake is sending out a roadmap for developing their own hosting services with better tech. I mean, I think that they obviously have to have a plan B from Amazon. That's what makes sense. Sure. Yeah, Diablo 4 Destiny players talking about season resets? Yeah, I'll look at a few things like that. Is it much fair for streamers? Yeah, I think it's fine. If Amazon is charging full price, I'm sure they realized they made more from Kick and boosted the price even more long term. No, they can't do that. Like, again, like, it's just, I think, number one, it's illegal. And number two, it would make them look bad in the market. So I don't think that's the case. Twitch equity worth billions, much more than what Kick, AWS will profit them. Twitch equity is worth billions. Yeah, but Twitch equity also costs millions, like hundreds of millions. So like that equity isn't free. He looks mad. Yeah, he's pissed.
Okay, the way you see profitability is relevant.
Right now. If
Right,
in 2
it's-
years they switch up completely, okay, we can talk about that then. And maybe their roadmap is, hey, we want to be a big player in the streaming space. I'm not saying that's not the case, but you can't argue that their gambling branch or wanting to generate more users for Stake and crypto gambling in general is not a massive part of how they make and need to keep making money.
Gotcha. So now it would be, the burden of proof would be on you to create a link between all the signings and all the people that are going to be on there, right? And how to link these guys with gambling, even though they're not
The link
doing.
Man. Oops, sorry. Randomly clicked somebody. They're getting it twisted. Where's J Rule? Yeah, I know. And so ultimately, who do you agree with? Bro, I agree with myself because I'm right about everything. I know a ton of stuff that's happening in the background. I understand this extremely well. I know exactly what I think is going to happen. And, you know, I'll make the right decision whenever the time comes based off of what the variables in play are. I think it's a very, like, I understand this extremely well. It makes very good sense. And it's not like I'm a fucking genius for being able to understand this. It's obvious.